Prompt engineering is not only writing some words in 2025. It has evolved a lot and it is more than just writing the words. In this video, I will show you exactly what a hiring manager looking for. For example, obviously prompt engineering, like RAG, building RAG application, like how to evaluate a RAG application in production. Your LLMOps mindset, this is very important nowadays, how to observe the LLM or RAG application in production, right? And like safety is very important nowadays. It is not only just writing the prompt, you have to understand the safety of AI, like guardrails, like, and obviously if you really want to crack interview, then what is your portfolio? AI portfolio, like generative AI, this kind of portfolio. So these are the I would say it's a requirement to crack interview or make a career into generative AI. And if you have seen that any job opening, for suppose they're asking for prompt engineering, a lot of people understand that it is just like for this is the requirement only for writing prompt. But in industry nowadays, it is not just writing the prompt. There are a lot of things involved in a job profile. Okay, so let us discuss that. If you really want to make a career in prompt engineering, it is not just writing a prompt. There are a lot of things are involved there. Okay, so what are the skills are required nowadays in generative AI if you really want to think beyond prompt engineering and you want to make a career into generative AI. Let us talk about that one by one. Okay. So number one is obviously the prompt engineering. And let me tell you, in generative AI project, if you really want to make career, your 80% skill set, I would say more than 80% is about writing good prompt. And writing a good prompt is not just writing some words here and there, right? Because your prompt is very important. It's just like a language to LLM, to talk to LLM and get the desired result. And at the same time, I have seen that if you really want to write a good prompt, your context, your business understanding, your business acumen is also important. So this also depends upon what kind of domain you're working. Suppose you have working with the insurance domain, banking domain, telecom domain, right? So if you have a fair understanding about the business aspect, it will help you to write a good prompt. And you can apply there a lot of technique like geo shot, few shot, like chain of thought thinking. There are a lot of techniques involved there writing a prompt. So building a career into generative AI, it is very important to write a good prompt. So prompt, according to me, prompts is just like a kind of source code. If you're working in a programming language, right, you have a very, we give a lot of focus on source code. It is just like that. So writing a good prompt is very important. How to manage it, how to uh, track the versioning of it. There are a lot of things involved in prompts. Okay, so in generative AI, you have to be very good at writing a prompt, get that desired result, and talk to LLM and solve the business requirement. So this is prerequisite, I would say, to make a career in generative AI, writing a good prompt. Okay. Number two, let me talk about that. It is very essential to build a LLM ops mindset. This is very important. Okay. Nowadays, what happens? People think that okay, if I write a prompt, then my work is done. This is not that. In I have seen that in hiring, in interview, hiring manager or technical people, they expect from you that you should know how to track or how to observe the model which you're building in the production. So they need people who can understand from development till production, right? So LLM ops is emerging field nowadays. It is more like a DevOps, but it is very promising, very important field. So just writing the prompt and building application is not sufficient nowadays. There is expectation in interview. You should know all the aspect of LLM ops, how to manage this, how to track it in production, deployment aspect. You should have some cloud knowledge as well. Yes, you heard right. Even today, cloud knowledge is very important. I have seen a lot of people who want to make career into generative AI. I have seen couple of cases that people are not able to crack interview because they have no background in the cloud side and they have no understanding or they have no context around how to do the LLM ops, how the deployment happens. This all thing is very important. So it is not just writing a prompt nowadays. You should know fair understanding about entire life cycle, starting from the development till production, entire life cycle, everything which covers under LLMOps. This is very, very important. Okay. Number three, I want to add here, which is nowadays, majority of the use cases I can see in generative AI is about building the RAG application. Okay, so I can see that there, according to me, there are couple of use cases. There are two use cases according to me, which is the most frequent use cases. One is called fine tuning the model. If you have some model and you have your own data set, then you can fine tune the model. Another use case which is very important is the RAG, building the RAG application. Okay, so if you have the good understanding the architecture side of the RAG, like how the RAG works, the vector database, you should have an understanding about the complete ingestion pipeline, like how to acquire the data, how the data coming from different sources, from the cloud, from different sources, how you store the data, and how to do the chunking, like indexing, and what are the right vector database for your use case, and how you're solving the business case, right? And what kind of data you have, what kind of data variety you have. It's a PDF data, it's a raw data, it's a file, it's a PPT. There are a lot of things are there, a lot of variation in the data. So building a RAG application is very important. And once you build the RAG application, then how you build a production evolution, how to do, I mean, how you will track in the production that your RAG application is doing the right performance. Suppose in Dev, you have built the application, it is giving the right performance, but maybe in the production with data variance, right? In the production, data can be in any format, you don't know. So how to track that? Okay, so these are the some aspect of RAG, and there are a lot of architecture evolving right now around the RAG. Different kind of search algorithms, different types of vector databases, different type of indexing. So these all things comes under RAG, right? So what I'm trying to say here, it is not just just writing some prompt here and there, and you will consider that you become good at generative AI. Prompt is very important. I'm not denying that it is an important skill set in in generative application, but there are a lot of things beyond that. Okay, and one of them is the RAG application, understanding the complete architecture from end to end, from development to production, how to deploy different deployment strategy, different tracking strategy, which comes under RAG. So this is super important. Okay, and next point I want to add here is about security. Security is very important aspect nowadays. You can see that how the role is evolving. It is not just writing some prompt. You would have a very end-to-end understanding and role and responsibility. So your responsibility is expanding nowadays. Okay, so ethics, AI security, data governance, right? Data privacy. These are also a very important aspect that you have to consider while you really want to grow in that generative AI career. Okay, so like prompt injection, like guardrails, these are very important things. Like suppose you're working in the banking domain or insurance domain, how you will make sure that your data is secure, how you make that your LLM is not hallucination, right? So how there are a lot of thing aspect here. So it is not just writing a building application. Okay, you have to think from security aspect also. This is very important. Okay, and last one I want to add here, which is very important, and I have seen that a lot of people fail here. Okay, a lot of people feel that, a lot of people understand that just building application, right? It is not like that. Okay, if you're working into AI project or generative AI project, the important and a lot of essential skill is about your communication skill, your presentation skill. Okay, because if any company, your client or company is working on the project, if you're able to showcase with your presentation that what value you are adding, okay, with your generative, whatever solution you're building around generative AI, what are the value addition you are offering to the company, to the client, so that they can perceive that your solution is adding some value in the product. Maybe they are adding a value in the revenue, something they are doing some automation, right? So this is as a developer, this is also very important. The skill set that you have to develop over a period of time is about how do you present your work, your solution, and how you can perceive your stakeholders, maybe your client, that your work is adding some value. in their growth or in any way, right? So the better you are able to communicate with your skill, with your presentation, you're able to convey in a right way that these are the going to be the value addition if you apply this solution in your stack. Okay, so communication skill is also very important. And last one, if you really want, this is my personal experience I'm sharing with you. If you really want to make a transition, or if you really want to make a career, or if you really want to crack any kind of interview in generative AI, then it is very important to showcase. I repeat, it is very important to showcase the right project portfolio in your profile. Okay, it's very important. So this is again, so it can be any kind of, like, it can be RAG portfolio, it can be RAG application, it can be agentic application, it can be fine tuning, that depends. It can be and that it should align with your previous or current projects, or what kind of domain or industry you're working with. Okay, so if you really want to crack interview, then you have to showcase the right portfolio, project portfolio, so that you can convince the hiring manager that you are the right fit, because you have, you have a technical knowledge, you are very good at generative AI, and at the same time you have solved some problem in the past with your, if you're able to showcase the right project, you can convince that you have already solved a lot of business problem using this skill set. Okay, so just knowing the skill set will not help you. You have to showcase, maybe you have to build a good portfolio of your project, and which will showcase that you have already built some business solution and you have fixed some problem using your current skill. Okay, so it is not just writing a prompt, my friend. A lot of things are involved here. So in 2025, if you really want to succeed in generative AI, which is evolving day and day and day by, okay, so this is very important. Your role is evolving day by day. It is not just writing a prompt or here and there. A lot of things are involved there. Okay, so the purpose of this video was to give a very holistic overview, okay, top-down overview, that it is not just writing a prompt. There are a lot of things involved, starting from building RAG application, understanding your data, your security, your LLMOps is very important, the cloud knowledge is very important, the security aspect is very important, and by end of the day, whatever work you're doing, you should be able to convey or pass the message, or with your communication skill, that what value you're adding in the company, so that they will continue with you. Okay, so yeah, you see all in this video. I hope you got fair understanding about how this role, this field is evolving so fast. And it is not only writing a prompt, my friend. It is important skill, but there are a lot of things beyond that. Okay, so put in comment box, my friend, if you someone who really want more resources, like how to make career into that, like how to crack interview, or how to find the right project in my portfolio, in my CV, please put in comment box. I'm very happy to answer those questions. Okay, so this is all in this question, in this video. I hope you got a lot of ideas about how to build a right career and generative AI. And generative AI is not only writing a prompt, it is more than writing a prompt. Okay, this is all in this video. I will come back in the next video. Till then, goodbye and keep learning. I will come back.